Welcome back to another video. I'm actually really excited for this one. This is going to be my first video going through and explaining in depth every single trade that I take from an entire 5-day trading week. So I think that there's going to be a lot that you can learn from this video, and this is kind of a video that I wanted to see when I first began trading, because I would see people either have monster days or just like post their P&L from one trade or post one trade, but I didn't really understand the trades that they took throughout an entire week, or how they would manage their losers, or what their break-even trades are like. So all these little things that I just wanted to see, that's why I'm kind of making this video, because I just wanted to put that content out. So what I do when I watch these videos back is I'll pause at different points, I'll rewind, I'll go in slow motion, I'll pretend as if I'm taking these trades almost, because that's the only way that you can really get involved in the trade and understand the tape and really understand what's going on. And also this week is going to show some nice 930 plays that I took, and also it's going to show how I size up and size down according to how green I am on the day, what the setup is, all these different things. The first trade that I took on the week was from the 16th, so it was Monday, and I took a 930 Tesla trade. So what had happened was around 7:30, there was news that came out about an investigation into all electric vehicles. So of course Tesla was hit with this news, and we sold off. And then we were just ranging from 702.5 to 707.35 right here. But the only level that I could see was this 706 level. You could see we touch it here, we touch it here, we touch it here. And then at 929, that's the high of the 929 candle. So I'm ready for that 706 level, but again, I just have to see how we open and then react to that. Alright, so as you can see right there on the ask, 706 has a little bit of size, not too much size, but I'm ready for if this gets over 706 on the ask at open, I'm going to get in. I'm playing 5 710 contracts. We open right there, open below, resistance at 706, and now let's see if we can get a pop over, and I'm going to get in. Right there, we're getting close, we're approaching, and right there I get in. Right away we pop, we get over 708, take one off, get over 709, take another off. There I got over 709, took another off. And now I'm just going to see if we can hold 709. I'd like a play over 710, and I'm going to hold these two cons. Right there, 709 gives up on the bids. Cut one, and now let's see if 708 can hold. 708 drops, and I just get out right away. Super easy, just following the charts. On each dollar, I take one more contract off. It helps just give me an easy stop loss, and this helps me be able to not get out of the trade if the chart's not telling me to get out of the trade. Because if this held 709 and then pushed over, I didn't want to get out without it breaking below, but I just followed my rules and I cut it, and I had a nice winner off open. So I took two trades on Monday the 16th, and the second trade that I took was Apple breaking over all-time highs of 150. And from a technical perspective, this play was setting up almost perfectly, where we had been holding this uptrend, and then right here we had broken out and ran up to 150. Perfect whole number, 150. And then we're holding this uptrend in a nice bull flag, and we were just waiting to break 150. So although this was a really good setup on the higher time frames, I didn't like the way this was setting up intraday. And the reason I didn't like the way it was setting up intraday was because Apple has an average true range of 2.88. And what an average true range is, it just basically shows how much on any given day a stock is going to move. So it's a 14-day simple moving average that just measures the volatility. So if Apple has an average true range of 2.88, that means from top to bottom on an average day, it's going to move $2.88. So for this to break over 149.9 and get to 150.5, it has to move $2 in the first 10 minutes, and that's 70% of the average true range. Plus there's going to be huge amounts of size on the ask at 150. So it's not that likely, but this is a setup that I have to take. So here I'm getting ready, and once that the ask gets over 149.91, that's my entry. Right there, I get in. And I get filled. I have a nice fill price. And my stop loss is going to be if we get below 149.9. So now I'm just waiting. My contracts are in the money. They're increasing in value even though we haven't pushed. So this is a really good sign. So I just need to be patient here. We're holding 149.9 and my contracts are still in the money. There's no reason to panic. This was a stupid sell right here. I sold 20% of my position. And we're still just holding 149.9. So there's no reason to sell any contracts. I sell another 3. I get rid of half of my position. This is really stupid. There's no reason to sell. My contracts are now up 10 cents each, and now I've sold 70% of my position before you've even broke. This is really bad trading, and I'm not proud of it, but this is just how some trades go. So now on these last 3, I'm waiting for 150 to break. Right here, we're getting close to 150. The size is decreasing on the ask. And right there, we pop over. And now my contracts are up 20 cents. So instead of selling out way earlier, I could have sold some here. Now they're up almost 25 cents, 30 cents. So this was a really bad play. A play that I'm not happy with. It was still a green trade, but I really didn't manage this well. I didn't manage this well, and on top of that, later in the week, you're going to see that I took another trade, just like this trade, but I learned from this trade and I managed it accordingly. So you're going to see the improvements that I make based off of the trades that I've taken. So each trade that you take, you should really try to learn from and not make the same mistakes. This is my last contract that I have left, and right there I sell out. Really not too happy with the trade, but that's just how it happens sometimes, especially after having a nice trade off of open. So my first trade from Tuesday the 17th was another 930 Tesla trade. And I like this trade a lot because we were gapping down from 686 to 672. So that's a 14-point gap down. And even if we continue selling off, it's very possible that we see a pop at 930 just because on gap down days that happens. So I like this play from the last 20 minutes of pre-market. We had resistance at 671 and we were holding 670, so we were in a tight range. And I like this a lot until 927 broke over 671 and had a high at 672.6. And then that became my new entry. So right here we open holding 670, and my entry is going to be if the ask can get over 672.6. So now we're just hovering, we're holding 670, and I'm just waiting for my entry. Right there we get to 72.6, and I'm waiting if we can get over that, and right there I get in. I get filled 5 contracts, and I'm noticing the contracts are spready and we're not pushing right away, so I'm not liking it. I sell 3 right there so that I'm out of the play, and then I see the bids drop 72, and I sell my last 2. This is super quick, but if you can see, if I would have waited just another 3 seconds or 5 seconds, this would have been a big loss because the bids on the option contracts dropped out. So if I would have just hesitated or waited for the charts to confirm and for the ask to get below 673, I would have lost a decent amount of money. But I saw the way the tape was moving and we didn't pop right away, and I cut my losses super quick just so I didn't have to stay in the trade. Alright, so this next trade that I took really wasn't the smartest trade to take, but I thought that if it got over where 931 candle opened, which was 670.33 and over 670, that this could push to maybe high of day. So I'm looking for 33 on the ask, and right there I get in. And we push right away, the contracts are up. Take one off there to lock in profits, and then we drop way back down to entry, and right there I just cut really quick. So this really wasn't a smart trade to take. There was nothing showing that I had an edge taking this trade. I did come out slightly green, but I'm really not too happy with this trade, and I probably wouldn't take this trade again. Alright, so my third and last trade from Tuesday the 17th was another Apple all-time high break. And all-time high yesterday was made at 151.19, and we closed at 151.19. 151.13, and pre-market high was 151.12. And right here we had a wick over 150.9. So over 150.9 was my entry. Right here we're coming up to it. And right there I get in. I get filled 10 contracts, and I'm going to wait for us to break over all-time highs to start selling. Right there I sell 2 to lock in profits over 151 because we might reject here. But other than those 2 contracts, I want all-time high to break. And I learned from the trade that I took yesterday to not make that same mistake again. And here I'm waiting. And right there we pop over and the contracts are up nicely for Apple. So right there I sell 3 to lock in profits. And now we're in all-time high territory. And I sell 2 there. Again, I'm just waiting. There's no reason to sell. I sell 1 there. Not really a reason to sell there. But I'm just waiting. If we were to drop 151.3, then there would be a reason to sell. But other than that, I'm in the green, and I can just let this run. Right here, I'm getting a little worried. Sell 1 there. That's a smart sell. We hold 151.2, and that was previous all-time highs. So here we've broken over 151.5 already. Now we're over 151.6, and my contract's up 50 cents. And right there, I was just happy with it. I took profits, and I was happy with the trade, and I actually let this trade happen, unlike the Apple trade that I took the day prior. So I was very happy to learn from my mistakes, and even though this wasn't as good of a setup, I still caught it nice. Alright, so my first trade from Wednesday the 18th was a 9:30 Moderna trade, and on the 18th, we actually had gotten good news pre-market that the 3rd booster shot was approved, and I know that there's been a bunch of just back and forth and approval and disapproval, but on this current day there was good sentiment and it had gotten approved. So if you were trading Moderna in the beginning of August, once that we broke out of this 360 resistance, we ripped all the way up to almost 500 and then we came back down very sharply, and we had been, and there was this key area, not a key level, but a key area between 405 and 410. And pre-market high today was 410. And towards open, we were trending down, and then we held 400 at around 9:15. And then towards open, we were trending up, and 927 had a high at 406.61. And 928 and 929 had highs at 406.48. So I was looking to take this over 406.6. Alright, so again, I'm going to take this over 406.6, and I'm looking for a play to 410. And then if we can break and hold 410, I'm hopefully going to try to just ride this all day because we have room on the charts all the way up to 440. Right there, we open right around 406.5. Now we're hovering right below where I want to get in, and I like this play. I'm liking how this is setting up a lot. And right as we get close to my entry, right there I'm getting ready. Right there I get in. We push really quick. We get to 410 in less than 10 seconds. Take one off. Take another off. Lock in those profits because I'm up really nice. And now I'm going to see if this last contract can get a play over 410. Right there, we break 410. We keep pushing. I like this a lot, but there's no reason to sell here. I want a 410 hold, and then hopefully we keep pushing. Waiting for the ask, and then the ask breaks below, and I have to get out because that's how that's just me following my rules. I would have liked for this play to keep pushing, but I was really happy with it, and it was quick, and I was out. Alright, so the second trade that I took on the 18th was a Tesla trade over 674. And right there you can see we test 674 and we push down a little bit. And I like this trade a lot because the previous 3 days we had been beaten a lot on the daily chart. And then the 17th had a high at 674.58. And pre-market high today was 674.5. So if this broke over 674, broke those 2 levels, and then broke 675, this could really pay. So right there I get in, right before the break, we break over. I'm not really liking the way this is moving because we're not pushing right away. Right there, we get over both levels. Take one off there. We might have resistance at 675, and then we drop down to 674, and I cut all 3 right away. And you could see the bids dropped out, but I wasn't part of that because right as I saw that on the tape, I got out. That's how you can get out of these trades for break even and not lose on these trades. If you can just be super quick, have like secure profits on that first contract, and then when you get back to your entry, cut them right away. Don't hesitate. Alright, so this next trade was the same trade that I had taken 2 minutes prior, but the 931 candle had a high at 674.74, and then the 932 candle had a high at 674.86, and both had wicks over 74.7. So over 674.7 was going to be my entry. So right here, I'm waiting for this new candle to open, and right there we pop over and I get in 4 contracts. I had a good fill, but we don't break right away, and I don't like this too much, but I'm waiting because the contracts are still up from my entry. I cut one there, and then we drop, and I cut 3 real quick before the bids on the contracts could drop out, because I'm intently watching the ask there. And once that the ask gets to 74.5, I cut them right away because I see that the contracts are moving down a little bit, but that kind of dropout on the bids hasn't happened yet. So if you can get out before the bids drop out on the option contracts, that's how you can kind of be near break even and only take a small loss. Alright, so my next trade from the 18th was the same Tesla trade. And 931, 932, and 933 had highs at 674, 74, 674.86, and 674.82. So 74.8 was going to be my entry on the ask. So now I'm just waiting to get there, and right there I see it on the ask and I get in. And we reject there. I sell one, sell another, and I'm not liking this at all, and I sell out completely. Although I waited a little longer on the last 2 contracts than I would have liked, this wasn't a huge loser, so I was fine with it. And then after taking this trade, I was obviously going to be done for the day. I had taken 3 trades on Tesla. None of them had worked out, but I was still up $450 on the day. So being able to take 1 trade and make $550, and then be able to take 3 basically losers and only be down 100 on those trades is just really good trade management. And then after taking that 3rd Tesla trade, I was done and happy with how I traded today. Alright, so I didn't take any trades on Thursday the 19th, and on Friday I took a 930 trade on Tesla. So the way that this was setting up was it opened right below 683, and 683 was the high of the 930 candle, so I was going to be taking this over 683. And right there I see 683 on the ask, and I get in, and we push over right away. My cons are up nice, and I'm going to wait for a 684 break. We break over, I cut one there to lock in profits. Size on the ask at 85, and I take another off there. And now I just want to see if we can break over 85. I take one off to lock in profits there, even though it's not a great sell. And now I just want 85 to break, and I want 84 to hold. So there's no reason to do anything there, and we break over 85, and now it's just a waiting game. Let's see if we can get over 86. There's some size on the ask at 86, and I didn't like that. So I sold one there, even though we pushed over. And now this last contract I can just let run. Now we're getting to 88. Let's see if we can get over 88. Big size, and we pop right through that. And then we come back down, and I didn't like that, how we rejected at 88. So I just sold out. I was really happy with this trade. It wasn't an amazing setup, but it was a setup that was really good to take and paid pretty well. Alright, so the last trade that I took on the week was at 947 on Friday, and this was Tesla over 689. So this wasn't a great setup, but I still felt like it was a setup that I should take, and if I managed my risk properly, this was going to heavily outweigh reward to risk wise. So I was taking this over 689, hopefully for a play at a high of day, and I'm just waiting for 89 on the ask, and right there I get in, and we don't break, and there's some size on the ask. So I obviously don't like that, and I sell one contract there just to minimize losses, sell another, and now I have 2 left to see if we can break over 89. But I really don't like it at all, and I just sell out there once we drop 88.5. And this is perfectly fine because the first trade that I took was over a $600 winner. And then my one loser is only $60, so that's great risk management. Alright, so to wrap this video, let's get into the fun stuff, which is my numbers from the week. So I took 11 total trades. I had 5 winners, 2 losers that you saw, and then 4 of those trades were break even. So my win rate was 71.43%, and my average winner was $394, and my average loser was $77.50. So on the week, I was green $1,824, which I was really happy with. But more importantly, I was super happy with how I was able to manage my risk this week and take good, high-quality setups. So if you have any questions or if this video was helpful, give it a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have any other video ideas, just let me know. Hope that this was super helpful, super informative, and have a good one.